Hi, we're Giver. We're a public goods project. We're trying to tackle the problem that we find between NGOs and donors that they don't actually sometimes even know each other. They find trouble in connecting, and when they connect, they have trouble in sustaining over time the support and challenges. How can we fix this? The first thing that we find is that most ways in which this starts or attempts to start is from donors bringing things to NGOs, mostly money at first. And we think that a first step forward would be that the NGOs validate that they received the money and that they're a real institution that is accepting the money and wants to initiate a conversation with the donors. So they give feedback back, and this is the start for a loop, a positive loop in which both start communicating. Donors can bring more ideas, and NGOs start to grow a culture with the donors, and donors can bring in more time and volunteers. What we think is that we need a place where this trust and reputation is built, and both parties can support the cause. There's a lot of different platforms where people go to find what they need and have validations. And there's even companies and startups and projects that build funds and communities. But we want to take this a step further with support and trust and reputation. How are we going to monetize this? As a public goods crowdfunding project, it's pretty standard. The biggest challenge would be onboarding the active NGOs to populate the platform and get the population of donors to grow from what it is today to a bigger pie, so to say. We already know that in the offline world, in the off-chain world, there's a lot of people that build reputation, but there's no way in which, in a fact-based method, reputation is gained for this type of projects. That is the first point that we want to provide, and then the contact between the interested parties. With blockchain technology, this can become 100% transparent and traceable, and we can offer all kinds of resources. Money is a starter, but also other types of material goods and volunteers. Here, it's key that both parties get to communicate and keep motivated with the trust that they build. What we find is that there's a lot of people that have a lot of these resources already built in their platforms, but there's no reputation system currently. So that makes our project a candidate for delivering this kind of reputation system to the other companies. There's a lot of ways in which we can incentivize people to gain trust in the platform in a gamification way. There's incentives to level up. So NGOs can start with a low base limit with how much they can raise funds for, and then they can find ways to level up that limit. And what goes for the NGOs goes for the same for the donors. And we want to make it easy for both users that are Web 2 and Web 3. Of course, we want to start with Web 3, but Web 2 is also on the map to gain massive adoption. In the roadmap, we believe that the essential part of this could be simply a backend with an MVP. And then the second crucial step is building the minimum viable community with validation. And then there's many other features that we can add up. Our team has a mixture of product operations and engineers. We have been incubated in SPICER, and we have combined experience of 20 years working with NGOs. What we're looking for right now is for advisors, for grants, partnerships, or VCs. Any feedback is welcome, and thank you very much for your time.